Tyler Mulford. How you going? Yeah, good night. Hi, yeah. All right. So everybody else had papers sitting over here, and it wasn't part of their act to like turn around and look at it, but it's actually part of mine. So you gotta laugh when I do it because that's part of the joke. So yeah. So my name's Tyler Mulford. I've already done one bad Aussie accent tonight. You'll probably hear more because I am unfortunately I'm American. I've lived here since November, so actually we voted on November 6th, so I don't know if you follow politics or anything. I got this card when I moved. It was, I'm part of the got the fuck out before Trump ruined the world card, and I'm really proud to have that card, so that, yeah, I have that. So you gotta laugh. I see I did that. So you might think that, I mean, looking at me, that I might be a highbrow, fancy-looking guy who comes from like New York City and Manhattan, or LA. I live in Hollywood or something like that. But no, I actually come from a farm town in Iowa. Anybody know where Iowa is? Hey, somebody does. Yeah, no, so if you don't know where Iowa is, it's okay, I promise. Not a lot of honestly, a lot of Americans don't know where it is. It's right there, smack dab in the center. If you want to know where it is, you go to the States. You ask somebody, if you go to the fancy place like LA or New York City or something, and just say, hey, point me at something really cool and exciting, and then just walk the exact opposite direction. Because there's not a lot going on in Iowa. But if you do go to Iowa, you'll be able to experience one of our 3 seasons. We have 3. You guys have 1. It's hot. We have 3, right? So the first one is corn. Okay. Now, any astrologists out there, meteorologists, that's the right word. You might not know that season, but corn is a very important season in Iowa. We produce the most corn per acre anywhere in the world. So anybody who ate corn tonight, you can come thank me after the show. So the second season is football, and not, like, what is it, rugby that you play out here. We play with our hands because that's how you play football, okay? But then the third season is the best. Third season is in winter. Okay, now this is not like this Aussie, like, bugger, I can't fucking go swimming tonight, like, this is, that's what you guys sound like. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's more of a, it's more of like you clench your ass cheeks together when you walk around because you don't want to fart. Because, like, you get cuts on your legs because it comes out like icicles are just dropping out of your fucking, it's that cold, right? As a kid, we used to take long road trips, right? And you like kids play I Spy and, these cool little card games. We played how many fucking cars are in the ditch, right? And then you do math. You can learn math while you do this because you can divide it per hour. So it's really good. You want to get like 50 per hour, right? So if you get 50 cars in the ditches per hour, you win. You get a count. The first one to point them out sees them. That type of deal. But really, the winter is so bad in America. We get like negative 50 Celsius, and I did that math because eventually Celsius and Fahrenheit go back together, so it's the same thing, so it's really easy math. But it's so bad that the Night King himself, he actually came to Iowa one time. He was walking down, and he said, no, fuck this, I'm going to Texas. So Night King's down in Texas, and then he moved to Washington, D.C. now, so that's where he lives. In case you're wondering, after the season's over, that's where he's at in the off-season. Yeah, so I'm going to turn to the next page as we got to laugh. Thank you for that. So, coming from an alien place like Iowa, coming out here is a big transition, right, already. I mean, just coming to Australia, just to a different country. I had to buy a passport to come here, right? So, I know a lot of Australians travel the world and do all this cool shit. No, we don't play that, okay? we stay in our own country, and that's just what we do. But so I had to get a passport to come here, and I come out and I live with my girlfriend. I met a girl, and it's a long story. You don't need to hear it. But yeah, so I live with my girlfriend, and we actually live in Newtown. So Newtown's a really cool place. There's a lot of suburbs in Sydney that are known for certain things, whether it's good or bad. And there's a lot that are very similar, but there's a couple that are very, very opposite, right? And you got Newtown on one end of the spectrum, and you have Mount Druitt on the other, right? So I live in Newtown, and I swear to God, I work in Mount Druitt. So to have this culture shock, you get Newtown, which is like something a farm boy from Iowa, never seen anything like it, and then you go to Mount Druitt and you feel like you're at home, right? But it's safer. That's what's crazy. Mount Druitt is like the safest place to me because it's all the meth, which is normal, and none of the guns. So you have all the meth heads, but you don't have to worry about getting shot by them. So it's all good. But no. So despite my really carnivorous ways, although I did have a mushroom burger today, realized that's just a mushroom. By the way, there's no meat in it, so that sucked. Yeah. But ad-libbed. I ad-libbed that. That wasn't in the script. So I'm a very carnivorous person, but I am very cultured, as you can see. And so I love living in Newtown, right? It's opened my eyes to a lot of really cool new things, right? It's a very LGBT plus open community. Very cool, very pro. You get the vote yes everywhere. It's awesome, right? And it's really opened my eyes up to a lot of things, right? So one of the big things is, I guess I'll preface this by saying, I'm not gay. I'm not homosexual. I'm not bisexual. I'm in a monogamous relationship with a female. But the LGBT plus, they have this plus on the end, right? And no one's ever explained to me, I feel like that changes a lot, and it's very open-ended at times. You know what I mean? Because everyone's got, some people put different letters in the end, and then some people just say, fuck it, let's just put a plus, because there's a lot of things to put on there, right? So I'm thinking, right, one of these days, it's an evolving thing, right? So one of these days, there could be some new letters that might apply to me, and I might be in this group, and that, that'd be good. So, what if there's one day a letter that says, dude who likes to eat cake after having sex, right? I'd be in that group, right here. And then, what about the, dude who just gets really bored and masturbates sometime? Hey, I'm also in that group. Holy shit. So, if they had those letters to the end of it, this guy getting a rainbow tattoo right across the forehead, because I'm very proud of the fact that I can sniff out some very moist post-coital cake anytime, anywhere. Wherever it is, I'll find it. You can put it a long way away, and I'll figure it out. Nah. Vote yes, everybody, by the way. But yeah, no, seriously, at some point though I had to go to work. I couldn't be a freeloader in America. We don't allow our people to not work. So I came out here for a couple months and I wasn't working much. I was doing some labor, I did some other things. So I've had to go find a job. And I was applying for jobs on LinkedIn and all these things, trying to find a place. And I'm a physio back home, but I can't be a practicing physio here because of international laws, all this crazy stuff. And I wanted to get into business, right, into sales. So I applied for this job on LinkedIn. The guy messaged me on LinkedIn hey, you want to come in for an interview? Here's the address, here's the time. Yes, good. This looks like a good job, good people. And so I look up where it is, and I get the train schedule because I'm a bum at that point. I don't have a car. I'm taking the train. And I tell my girl, oh yes, I got this job interview tomorrow. It looks really good. And she's oh good, where's it at? And I said, it's someplace called Mount Druitt. And she was no, you're not going there. And I was what do you mean? It's 45 minutes away, but it could be a really good job. I might as well go to the interview. And she's no, you're not allowed to go there. You don't understand. This is a terrible neighborhood. And I'm really? Okay, I'll give you I'll preface a little bit about my girlfriend. She, love her. She's an amazing person. But she spent her summers growing up on yachts. And she sips her wine very slowly and very nicely. And And so obviously I have to take everything that she says about bad neighborhoods very seriously, because she's got the life experience to deal with that kind of thing. So I went to the job interview. I snuck out while she was at work, and I went out there, and like I said, it's like coming home. You know, you get off the train. There's some guy trying to bite his ankle off. Like, you're walking by, and two people are fighting over something that's not even there, and it's like I almost called my parents and I thought I was back home. I really did. It was good. There was none of the corn though, so that's how I knew. Yeah, the job was good. The job was really good. Actually, the people were really good. The pay was okay. I said, you know what, screw it. I'll do it. Take the job, right? I'm working out in Mount Druitt. Whatever you say, Kaylin, I don't care. I'm going out to the terrible neighborhoods. And so I loved it the first couple of days, and then I realized something about Australian culture and about just Australians in general. There's this bar set for workers and just for the things that you do. It's set, I don't want to say low because I feel like that'll offend you, but like it's kind of low. Like the number of times in my life that I've been called a champion before I started working in Australia was 0. Never in my life. 2 days out in Mount Druitt, I thought I ran the fucking world. Like, I swear to God. Like, to me, growing up as a Midwestern kid in America, champion and legend are words that you look at like iconic athletes and like war heroes and like these legendary people, and I'm sitting out here, I wipe my ass with my left hand, and some fucking meth head pops out from behind the urinal and goes, "Oh, you're a fucking legend, mate, eh? What a champion!" I'm like, dude, I just had my phone in my right hand, like I didn't know what else to do. Seriously, like I can't imagine what people have to do to get even mediocre review in this country. Like, yeah, okay, let's see, you drove a bus into a bunch of school kids, you took a shit on my car, you told my mom to, quote, lick her fish and chips, and yeah, I mean, you just need to pick it up a smidge, you champion, you're alright. You know, like, I don't know, like, I feel like the best employee in the world, it's good. So, yeah, that's about it. So I guess I'm gonna have to go find some cake, and see you guys later. Thanks a lot.
Mulford, what a fucking legend.